fellow humans, and welcome back to another daily dice where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. I'd like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things completely differently around this channel, so with that being said, if the messages happen to resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And I would like to take this moment to give a special thank you to those of you that have supported the channel in further ways. So today I did have a channel message that someone deeply regrets losing you. So we're going to find out more about this. I'm going to be using the Lantern Oracle deck today. So Source, who deeply regrets losing my fellow humans? What more would you like to tell us about this? What Lantern Oracle card is going to help us better understand this message? They deeply regret losing my fellow human. What oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today, Source? Thank you. All right. On the bottom, we've got Radical Honesty. It says, to believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. So there's someone here who is not being honest with themselves. They're struggling to be honest with themselves, how they felt about you, what they wanted to do with you, how they wanted to see things unfold with you. All right, let's move this out of the way. All right, so someone deeply regrets losing my fellow humans. What would you like to share with us today? What more would you like to say? So someone deeply regrets losing my fellow human. So we've got the 9th house, we've got Libra energy, and we've got Pluto. This is someone who's very superficial, very surface level. They wanted things to look or appear a certain way. And we see here with the 9th house that that's just not going to work with you, because you are someone who is striving for more. You know, whether that is freedom of expression, learning something new, or exploring different avenues, exploring your spirituality. You're into divination, you have psychic abilities that you're trying to tap into more. You know, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you want to do with your life, it's more. It's more than the norm, right? You're not satisfied with just acceptable. You want to know what more is out there. And this person is very superficial. They want things to appear a certain way, i.e., if you are divine feminine, they want you to appear submissive. They want to be the one that's in control as the divine masculine. If you're a divine masculine here, this is a divine feminine who wants you to be supportive, who wants you to take care of everything, who wants you to be the breadwinner. These are very traditional roles that are coming through here. It's interesting because we don't have 10th house energy here, but this feels very traditional with Libra energy. They want things to look, feel, and be a certain way, but no matter what, at the end of the day, you don't fit into that description, because the place that you're going is all about evolution, transformation, changing the way the people around you see the world. And it's just because you yourself see it in a different light. So therefore, there's been a lot of healing. There's been a lot of shifts. There's been a lot of transformation for you personally. But it's been through pursuing what it is that makes you happy and finding balance within that, realizing that this is your right to stand in your power, because things will equal out for you. So even though this person deeply regrets losing you, I do not feel like you have any regrets when it comes to this person. I feel like you told them exactly where you were coming from. I feel like you told them exactly how you felt, but you were met with a brick wall. You cannot break down something that someone does not want you to break through, right? So therefore, instead of trying to break down or break through it, you said, cool, here's the ball. I'm going to leave it at your front door, and you can decide to do with it, but I'm going to go and keep living my life. and you started to grow and you started to have this massive glow up, and now they're seeing you and how far you've come and realizing that the ideas that they had, or that traditional standpoint from where they were, is not as glamorous as they thought that it was. So they miss you. Every step you take, every move you make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be watching you. It's either watching or missing, I can't remember. But that's a song that's coming through. I don't remember the lyrics, whatever. That's just what came through. So I'm going to channel it as it came through. Because there's purpose for that, right? Even if I got it wrong, there's still a purpose for the reason it came through the way it came through. So now all they can do is watch you from a distance. Everything you do, every move you make, every single day, they're spying on you. They're like, oh, what are y'all doing? What's happening in your life? And they're seeing you having the time of your life. Yeah, but they wanted control. They wanted to control how things played out. So if you pursued them, they wanted to control that. They wanted to be the ones that pursued you, right? This is someone who's very, very concerned with how they appear to other people. So it could be the way that you look. I'm not saying you're ugly. I'm not saying you're beautiful. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that you might have a very unique aesthetics, and that equally played a part in it. No, it's not your fault. This person just has this idea. We all have to show up in Dolce & Gabbana, and we all have to be driving Mercedes or Bentleys, things that none of us can afford right now, but we still got to be driving it up so people can be like, oh, wow, you're so successful. Oh, wow, you've got everything together, right? But for you, it was just more about self-expression, and self-expression was too free for this person. But now they miss that. They miss that so much because there's no one else like you that they've met, and they could have believed that you were easily replaceable with someone who they could conform to what they wanted, but was still going to have your wildness about them. And what they're finding is that the people that they can get to conform are just boring. Boring. They're not you. They're boring. Oh my gosh, they're boring. They'll do everything I want. Boring. They liked your rebellious side. They liked it a lot. And now they're just kicking themselves in the butt because they didn't try harder. But you know what? At the end of the day, do you really want to be with someone like that? Do you really want someone like that in your energy? They're not ready and willing to change yet, but they do deeply regret losing you. Yeah, this is somebody who wasn't ready to commit. This is somebody who would have broke your heart. This is somebody who would have had a lot of secrets from you. This would have turned out as a very hopeless situation in the end. Okay, this is somebody who would have kept you at arm's length no matter how things played out. So the only alternative was for you to choose to heal, to move on, to blend and integrate the shadow and the light attributes of yourself, to find balance within, right? To grow. There's spiritual growth here. That was the only alternative. Yeah, oh my gosh. The devil and the emperor in reverse. This person, now I'm not here to label anybody. This person could have been highly narcissistic as well. But again, I'm not here to diagnose anybody for that. Okay, I'm just saying, like, that's what the card is showing here. This could have been someone who just had narcissistic tendencies. But with the devil in reverse, we see they were obsessed with all things material. All the worldly treasures that you could have, that's the only thing that this person was worried about, and how that appeared to other people. If other people were impressed by the worldly treasures they owned, then they felt like they were actually succeeding. And for them to have that, they would have needed you to fit into whatever box they had for the role that you would have played in their lives. But there's no way that you fit into that box no matter what. And now they're seeing that this energy is causing a problem for them in their lives. And it's creating where now no one wants to stick around with them. I feel like you gave them the benefit of the doubt time and time again. I feel like you gave them so much and so many chances. But, you know, people like this, no matter how many chances you give them, there's never going to be a final chance where they're like, wow, I should really get my crap together before this person leaves. Because the thought process is like, well, they've already given me this many chances. Why should I even bother changing? And that's the thought process. And whether it's right or wrong, that's not what matters here. It's just showing that you went through a lot of suffering yourself when it came to this individual because of what they put you through, because they never, ever took you being in their lives as, you know, they always took it for granted. They didn't take it as the precious gift that it was until it was too late, but they still don't see it as the precious gift that it is. They just miss what you gave them all the time. You gave and gave and gave and gave, and they took, and they like to take, and they really like that, but you made it interesting because you're rebellious. You weren't the boring, normal energy that everybody else is coming from. And they really, really miss that. They really miss the fight. So now you're moving into a place of success. I know that there's no greater goal than to love. Yeah, and you know that. You know that love is the ultimate journey, right? We're learning how to be the embodiment of unconditional love. And for them, they don't know that. They don't know that success is love. For them, what success still is to this day is material gain. On the bottom of the deck, we have self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and the others. And now you've gone off and you've gained a whole bunch of self-esteem and confidence. And through discipline and self-care and self-love and perseverance and overcoming these things that were holding you back, and that's made you glow up. And now they want that glowed up version of you, but they want to be able to control it. They deeply regret that. They regret not having control. So is it a good thing that they regret you? I mean, you know, maybe you could be in that energy of like, let them feel that way. They deserve to feel that way. You know, hey, they lost a good thing for sure. They did lose a good thing. You know, I'm not one to be over here like, oh, you know, screw them, whatever, because I also see that this person's coming from a very injured state. You know, they could have had a very brutal family upbringing. They could have had a father that was very abusive. They could have had a father that ingrained in them that the only amount of success would be financial success, right? Like someone who comes from a rich family and they think that their children are worthless, and they drive into their kids that the only way that you're ever gonna not be seen as worthless is if you do better than I do in this life. And the chances of that happening, you don't have my experience, so it's not ever gonna happen, right? Does that make it okay? No, but that's what I see for this person. They're coming from a very injured state, right? And for you, you made that feel less yucky. Childhood innocence. You could have known this person for a long time. But isn't it interesting? I didn't know this was on the bottom of the deck, and I'm talking about this person's childhood, and I'm talking about their wounded child. That's so interesting. Thank you for that confirmation, source. We've got this energy. It's like they lost their innocence at a very young age. They lost their sense of wonder. They lost that, what is it? Oh, that song is coming in. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. And God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. Who is that? Womack. Leanne Womack, I think, sings that song. I don't know for sure. But look, like, I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. I hope you get your fill to eat, but but always keep that hunger, right? The hunger for life, the hunger for wonderment. Don't take a single breath for granted, right? It's like all these energies, it's like having hope in life, and they lost hope in life, but you were the hope that was in their life. You were a break from the monotony, right? And you gave them an opportunity to experience less pain. It doesn't mean that they took that as a sign that like, oh, I should totally change who I am. No, like they just took it as like, wow, this is someone who doesn't make me feel worse about myself, and I can still be this person of control. Like I could still try to fit into whatever was pounded into their heads as a child. That's interesting. Wow, that's like really, really deep. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. They've been through it. Praise others. Praise is power. This is the thing. You praise them. You made them feel good. Praise is power. Finding the good in others and praising them sincerely can make them feel happy and confident. At the same time, it will make your own relations more harmonious. Right? Now, did that really make your guys' relationship or connection more harmonious? It doesn't feel like it did, but that energy made them feel unstoppable. On the bottom, continuous learning. Learning is a lifelong endeavor. Stay curious and constantly learning new knowledge. This and skills will keep you improving. Adapt to changing world and improve your competitiveness. Like that's in what I was singing that song, right? It's like talking about that. Never lose your sense of wonder. It's lifelong. Learning is a lifelong endeavor. That's where when we come at it with the eyes of a child, we always come at it with this sense of curiosity and wonder. But life holds no mystery for them anymore, and they regret losing you because you were a mystery to them. Look at what's on the bottom of this deck. I can't. I just flipped it over for some reason. So this could have been someone who experienced hunger growing up. They could have experienced poverty like that. Or that food was used as punishment, right? Like, oh, you can't eat tonight because of this. Like you go to bed without your dinner or something like that. Like they could have experienced like hunger and know what that is. And that's something that also has impacted them on this day. There's a lot of anger they're going through right now. They're experiencing a lot of anger. It's not you. It has nothing to do with you. It's just, they're just very angry. And I feel like they're really angry at themselves for losing you. And that this is turning into outwardly projections onto other people. Like they're hurting a lot of people around them right now. They're losing the people who believed them over you. They're losing all those people. They're losing all those connections. They're becoming very lonely. Their toxicity has gotten beyond. It's just gotten beyond. Like, no one wants to see this anymore. No one wants to see them doing this. They don't want to talk to them about this anymore. We have secret crush, admire, attraction, suitor, and butterflies. They're wondering if there's someone out here who has a crush on you, if there's people who are pursuing you. Anxiety, and that causes them so much anxiety, so much stress. They're going through depression right now. They're having panic attacks. They're not sleeping very good. They're having insomnia right now. It could be on medicine. Yeah, this is your ex, okay? For some of you, this is your ex. This is someone that you had a relationship with, an old flame, the past, nostalgic memories. Okay, so this is an ex-lover, or this is just someone that you had a relationship with, but it wasn't like a labeled relationship with. It was just someone you were seeing. But it is an ex-lover, okay? I feel like one more of these ones. Yeah, one more. This could be someone who's really in tune with music. Musician, snake charmer, harmony, melodic. So yeah, we were getting songs coming through. I feel like I want one more. This could be someone who plays music, or you feel like they're giving you messages through music, or they gave you a lot of music, or they sang to you when they first met you. There are, like, you guys had a song, like, from the first time that you met each other, like, you had a song together. With between the lines, hidden meaning, vague, speculate, and implicit. Yeah, so I feel like they're sending you music, or they're sending you thoughts through music, and you're reading between the lines. You're realizing there's a lot more hidden meaning to this. Liquid courage. Ooh, okay. Someone could start trying to reach out to you with liquid courage. Bravery, confidence, intoxicated, odd behavior. We have snake. Be careful the snake in the grass. Deception, shady, temptation, and enemy. Okay, so this person could gather up some courage to try to come forward and say, hey, I miss you. And the only time, I'm going to tell you, the only time they do that is when they're under the influence. They don't do it when they're clear-minded, because when they're clear-minded, they're just mad. They're just mad about the situation. Yes, they're probably mad at you too, but it's more they're just mad about the situation. They're mad about losing you. They're mad that you're not in their lives anymore. You could say, oh, well, they're blaming me. It's not even about blame. They're just angry. They're just mad. Okay, and so when they drink, or when they smoke, or when they're, doing other things, they're like, oh, I really miss you. I need to reach out to you. And that's when they reach out. Okay, I feel like this one too. All right, on the bottom we have pay attention to the red flags. Yeah, the signs are cautioning you. And then I feel like this person taught you some very valuable lessons about what it is that you wanted in life, but they were very, very painful lessons. And I'm so sorry you had to go through that. No one deserves going through that at all. But sometimes it's just, it is a fact of life, because there's always going to be lower vibrational people like this. Yeah, this was a huge healing opportunity for you, and I feel like you took that very seriously. We have shaman, ancient healing wisdom. So them coming into your life unlocked wisdom, ancient wisdom for you, and it's helped you move forward on your journey. And it's also helped you to be cautious. We've got the red flags on the bottom of the romance angel deck, and then we have caution here, right? It's like you've learned how to be cautious of people and connections. You're not just trusting people. And maybe this person charmed you with music, or their ability to sing, or their ability to play an instrument, or something along those lines. And it was like love at first sight, but it wasn't. It was being charmed at first sight. And that has created a situation where now you're not just pouring into people anymore. Travel, distance, boundaries, far apart, get away. Yeah, so you put space. There's distance between you now. You could have moved to a whole nother city, or they could have moved to a whole nother city or state, or even country. But I do feel like there's so much distance between you now. Like they know they're never going to be able to bridge that gap. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So this is Source, a message from Source, that forgiveness is going to help you let love come in, okay? And no, I'm not asking you to forgive them all in one go. It's just reminding yourself again and again that the more I forgive, the more I open up to love within myself. And I'm not forgiving them saying that what they did to me was okay. I'm forgiving them because I deserve to be free from the chains that this person put on me. Wow, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Yeah, this is a very clear message. We have ex-lover, release your ex. It's a really bad situation. It was a really difficult situation, and validate what you experienced and how you felt going through all of this. You absolutely deserve that validation. But what you don't deserve is to be anchored down because of this situation any longer. You deserve to be free. We have let go of control issues. Whoa, all of these cards, so synchronistic to this message. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So again, this person showing they wanted control over you. They wanted to keep you small. They still are in that energy where they want to make you feel small. Maybe you've been thinking about this person recently and wondering, have they changed? Source is saying, no, they haven't changed, but they do regret losing you. But it's not for what you might think. But I feel like the main reason that Source wanted you to come onto this message was to remind you to free yourself and heal, right? To heal by letting this go. They don't deserve your time, your energy, or the space in your mind anymore. They had so much of it at one point in time, and they really just took it for granted. And you deserve someone who loves and appreciates you in this moment as you are, and isn't trying to control you, and isn't trying to change you or shape you into what they want. Okay? Wow, we've got the Broken Dreams card. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. right? It's easy to say, like, well, this person kept me from my dreams. It's easy to say they're the reason that everything fell apart. That's just placing blame on them. It's hard to take accountability when you knew it was a toxic situation. It's so hard to take accountability and say, like, I stayed in a toxic situation knowing it was toxic. You know, and I haven't really been doing the podcast so much anymore, just because the readings and stuff here in the channel has been taking most of my demands. But if you do check out my podcast, I don't know if I kept the link in the description box, but on earlier videos it's there. I have talked about this on my podcast before. But if you need a refresher, here's the thing. My ex was a narcissist, a very terrible narcissist, and abusive physically, emotionally, mentally, and sexually. And I stayed with him for 8 years. And I knew he was bad news, but I stayed. And the whole time I stayed, I blamed him for everything, because that was easier. It was easier than dealing with the fact that I had chosen to stay in that situation, even though I had options to let go and to move on. And when I finally moved on, healing from that, like, I had to make sure that I gave there enough space. I literally ran across the country. I ran from Colorado to North Carolina. That's how far I went. And I drove all that distance in 28 hours. It's a 24-hour drive, how long it was going to take. And I drove it in 28 hours because I had to stop and take a nap so that I could keep going by myself with my dog. And when I got to North Carolina, he still had my phone number. He still had all, you know, like, my contact and everything like that. And every day he texted me, and every day he was like, well, if we're going to make this work long distance, we have to talk on the phone and this, that, and the other. And when I gave him a hug the day that he left for work, the day I left, I knew that that was it. Like, I had to let that be my goodbye. And when I was in North Carolina, every day I had to tell myself just one more day not to talk to him, because that Stockholm syndrome was starting to take over. Like, maybe I did the wrong thing. I really do love him. Or, oh my gosh, like, maybe I was the one that was crazy, right? And having to take accountability for being in a toxic situation and not making an excuse for it. Just saying, like, I chose to stay and I chose to let that alter me. That was really hard for me, but it was also so healing when I was finally capable of doing it. And then forgiveness came. And when forgiveness came, like, I don't hold any hard feelings towards him. Like, is he a very abusive person? Yes, he is. But I also recognize that he's coming from a hurt place. Did that make it okay? No. But I can appreciate the fact that he came from an incredibly hurt background, and that he himself has a lot of healing to do. But we can get into this broken dreams energy and we can say, oh, I don't want to accept my part in it. I don't want to accept my dreams. I want it to be everybody else's fault. But only we have the power to change ourselves. No one else can change us. So let's read what this says from the book, number 23. It says, we break our dreams when we cease to believe in them and ourselves. Our attitude toward disappointment, perceived failures, and rejection has the power to derail our confidence. When a prolonged state of defeat or doubt ensues, we not only give up on our dreams and ourselves, but also on what makes us feel alive. It can be hard, but we need to trust that the way to realize our dreams is by persisting and working with disappointments, and as well as any perceived failures and rejections. Perceived setbacks are often opportunities to learn to think differently, to develop further, and to explore new ways of realizing our vision. When we interpret and therefore turn challenges into actual setbacks, it can feel like the world has rejected us. In response to this feeling, we give up too soon. The world does not reject us. It cannot. Of course, it may feel like it does. But what is more likely to have transpired is that certain individuals, organizations, and opportunities have said no to us for one thing at one point in time. The world is full of many more individuals, organizations, and opportunities if we continue to say yes to ourselves. In the instant that constructive feedback is given, it can be helpful to consider seriously what is said. We may become aware of something useful. At times, we may also benefit and develop from seeking out another's informed point of view or ongoing mentorship. However, what remains crucial to the realization of our dreams is focused persistence, appropriate practice and training, and the right timing. People, circumstances, and many other variables outside of our awareness and control need to line up. Furthermore, we need to be ready for our dreams to come true so that success does not have a distorting effect on us. To abandon your dreams is to abandon yourself. There's no need for this. The Guardian encourages you to explore ways of doing what you love differently. Being flexible with the way that you go about realizing your vision will save you from much unnecessary heartache, regret, loss, time, and despair. Do what makes you feel alive in your life. Never lose sight of what lights you up and makes your spirit self sing, no matter what. And that's interesting that we got spirit self sing, and we were talking about music. So this person, they could have deterred you from, maybe you want to be a musician or you want to get involved in music or something creative like that. And this situation could have really derailed you from all of that. And they're saying, come back to your dreams. The most important thing right now is for you to come back to your dreams and for you to realize them for yourself. No one is going to get you there. You have to get yourself there. That can feel very lonely and very overwhelming. But remembering that it's making a plan and breaking that plan down step by step and just taking one step at a time. We're not trying to rush to an end goal here. We're trying to take one tiny little step at a time. And eventually we'll look back and we'll see just how far we've come. Okay, this is a difficult situation, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart that you had to experience someone like this. But know that I'm so proud of you because it shows how strong and resilient you are, and that you're still here trying to align and become the most enlightened version of yourself. That is so encouraging, and that is so profound. Please celebrate yourself because you deserve to do so. And remember, give yourself grace for the moments that it feels like you can't step outside of the broken dream energy, because you're still human after all. We all are. We'll have those moments when we fall back into that. What matters is that when you give yourself grace, you also remind yourself this is just a moment, that too shall pass. And I will come into this place of strength because that's who I am innately at my core. So if this message resonates with you, leave the little broken heart emoji down below and say, I choose to grow from the hardships of the past, knowing that I am a strong, resilient, capable, incredible person who is able to create anything I want when I put my mind to it. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It'll have everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very profound, powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.